What's up, guys? Welcome to the newest edition of UFC Overload blog. And today we're going to be discussing the results from last night's event from UFC on FX2. It was held in Australia, down under, yeah. And it was an awesome card, I'm not going to lie. All four that they showed live were very entertaining pretty much throughout. So, I mean, you can't complain, especially for a free card. It was good, especially had some big names in each division. But first, I'm going to talk about talk about my night. So going into the last, this isn't any spoilers or nothing. I mean, you probably haven't read my prediction, so don't worry about it. But so going into the last fight, the last minute of the fight, I was 3-0 on my picks, man. I was doing good and it was looking like I was gonna go perfect 4 for 4. And then some shit happened, man. It hit the fan. And so I'm going to tell you about the fight, and then I'll let you know what shit it was that hit the fan and started flinging all over me. It sucked, though. So the main event was Thiago Alves versus Martin Kampmann. And both of these guys are very well-rounded. Thiago Alves has a awesome ground and pound, awesome stand-up, a lot of power. And the man, he's got a good diet, too. Within 3 hours of his weight cut to 170, he was back up to 197 is what I saw a picture of somewhere online. And but Martin Kampmann and both of them, they came to fight. And in the first round, it was pretty much back and forth. You know, anybody could have it until Martin Kampmann lands a front kick. But it wasn't like a usual front kick where you like lift your leg and then extend the knee. It was kind of like just like an uppercut up kick. And he caught Thiago Alves right on the chin, wobbled him a bit, and came and got some punches and took him to the ground. But Alves was able to recover and get up. But other than that, there wasn't a whole lot of action in the first round. So first round goes to Kampmann. Second round, Alves starts feeling it, getting lots of leg kicks in, man. He's nasty with the leg kicks. They said last night that in all of the UFC, he has the second most leg kicks, only to Forrest Griffin. And he's nasty with them, man. He's got some tree trunk legs. He's a bulldog. And so, I mean, he was finding his range, and Kampmann didn't really have an answer for him. He wasn't able to take him down. So, I mean, second round went to Alves. Ah, shit, something's in my eye. So second round goes to Alves, right? And third round is going much of the same way for the first three and a half minutes. So, I mean, it's looking like Alves is going to pull this one out for a decision victory. And so Kampmann had to go for a finish. But Alves, man, he catches him good with a hook. And rocks him, brings him up against the cage, just gives him a couple more punches. It looks like he's about to finish him, but instead of staying up and punching, he tries to go for the double leg takedown up against the fence. Grabs him, tries to pile drive him down. As he's getting pile driven down, Martin Kampmann sinks in the guillotine choke, man. Chokes him out with like 30 seconds left. Awesome come from behind fight. So that is the shit hitting the fan because I picked Alves to win, and he was doing it, man. I thought he was going to get the finish even. I picked him for a TKO finish, and he was that close to getting a TKO finish, but he decided to take him down. And, I mean, Kampmann capitalized. He's got a very underrated ground game and good submissions. So, I mean, when you have an opening like that, he went for it, and he took it. So, Martin Kampmann gets the submission victory. He got submission of the night for that as well. And fight before that was Joseph Benavidez versus Yashiruri Yursatani, little-known Japanese fighter to a lot of people. I mean, I didn't know much about him. And this is a flyweight division, the second ever flyweight fight in the UFC. And, I mean, they came out guns a-blazing, of course. These little guys always do. First round, I mean, both of them were pretty much feeling each other out. It was pretty even. I'd say it would go to Benavidez, though. He scored a takedown. Wasn't able to do a whole lot with it, but I mean, he scored the takedown, got a few punches on him. So first round to Benavidez. Second round, I mean, pretty much more of the same. They're both just punching at each other and everything, but within like a minute, Benavidez, Yushitari, he threw a kick at him, threw a low kick at his thigh going for it, and Benavidez just counter punches, just clocks him, man, He falls down on the ground. Benavidez pounces, man, killer instinct, pounces on him, just boom, boom, boom. Fight's over, man. So he won that fight. Awesome, good, thank you. Because in my predictions, I didn't talk a whole lot about man, what's his name? I don't even know his name. Yursatani, because I had a lot of respect for Jovan Benitez. So thank you for winning, for not making me eat my words and look dumb, for not paying this guy his due. Not to say he's not a good fighter still, but thank you for making me look good. And the first ever flyweight fight was Ian McCall versus Demetrius Johnson. And these guys, man, they set the tone for the second fight. They really up their game up. I mean, live TV, first ever flyweight fight, looking for the championship title fight, whoever won. And first round was pretty even. It looked like McCall was landing some more power punches, but I mean, Demetrious Johnson got him with one solid right hook, and I mean, he got the little fish leg. He went, and he kind of wobbled back, but I mean, he recovered, and he was smiling on his way wobbling back, so he recovered real quick, so it wasn't like devastating or anything. So first round, really, it was a toss-up pretty much between McCall and Johnson. It could have gone either way. And then the second round definitely goes to Demetrious Johnson. I mean, it was pretty much more the same of the first round. I don't think McCall got any takedowns that round, and Demetrious Johnson was just getting a little bit better of the stand-up with all his combos and everything. He's real quick. He's so quick. Everybody's saying he's probably the fastest guy in the UFC, and I definitely believe that, or not the fastest, but the quickest at least with his hands. I mean, explosive takedowns. Wasn't able to get McCall down, but I mean, he's still explosive. And then the third round, pretty much more the same. I mean, another toss-up round, man, like the first one. But then with about a minute left, McCall's able to get a takedown. And, I mean, he gets him sprawled out on the ground. He takes Johnson's back. And, I mean, from there, he's just boom, boom, wailing on him. It looks like the fight probably could have been called. And while he's doing that, actually, McCall, I mean, he's punching him. He looks at the crowd. He's like, yeah, come on, root for me and shit. And so, I mean, he keeps punching. If he probably hadn't done that, he did that about 2 or 3 different times. Probably wastes about 5 seconds. I mean, in 5 seconds, that comes down to about, like, 10 punches, you know, just back and forth. So if he hadn't done that, he might have gotten the finish, finished it right there, and wouldn't even gone to a decision. So ends up going to the decision, and it goes split decision to Demetrious Johnson, met with a chorus of boos, and Fox or FX actually had to cut the audio because all the fans in Australia were chanting bullshit, which I thought it was bullshit. I mean, I thought McCall definitely did enough to get a 10-8 in that round. To at least warrant a draw, if not winning 29-27, in my opinion. And so that's what happened with that. And then later on that night, at the press conference, they admitted there was a tabulation error because apparently Aussies don't know how to add 10 and 9s and 8s and stuff like that. And it was actually supposed to be a draw, which means it would have gone to a 4th round for sudden victory, as in whoever won that round won the whole thing. But they didn't. So Dana White's pretty pissed off about it, and I mean, Demetrious Johnson's totally bummed because they told him he won and they take it away from him. Uncle Creepy, Ian McCall, he's happy about it. I mean, so now they're going to be set up for a rematch. They're thinking sometime in April. There wasn't a whole lot of damage showing except for Demetrious Johnson's face was cut up a bit. His lip needed some stitches and things like that. So I mean, I'm all for it because I mean, I felt like McCall won that round. I wish they wouldn't have made that error in the first place. It would have been a lot better to just go sudden victory, but at least they're going to do a rematch to see the winner of this one will face Benavidez. And to start things off, it was Court McGee versus Costo Filippo. And Court McGee, UFC, tough veteran. He was actually the winner, and he's been coming along slowly. This was his first step up in his game, and he's always good. I mean, all around he's good, but he wasn't able to do anything really tonight. His stand-up wasn't too crisp, and he wasn't able to get takedowns. He's very good on the ground, so that's what he's looking for. But Costo Filippo, I mean, would not let him be taken down, and so Filippo is able to come out with the unanimous decision victory, which I also predicted. So with 30 seconds left in the whole thing, I went from being 4-0 to being 3-1, and then an hour later it changes to 2-1-1. But I mean, that's still pretty respectable, you know. I suppose, you know, whatever. But that's all it was. Pretty much, it was an awesome night of fights. Free. I'm telling you, I told you last time. You have to watch the free cards. You have to watch the free cards if you're a UFC fan. They always bring it. Because I could say they feel slighted, you know, because they're on the free card, not the pay-per-view. But whatever, man. I would much rather watch the free cards because the fighters are always bringing it. And so for the rest of the results, just check out down below for the undercard fights that weren't televised. But, I mean, so that's all it is. Next week, there's no event. It's going to be the Ultimate Fighter, though, season premiere with, like, 16 fights. So definitely check that out. That'll be next Friday. I'll be keeping you posted on some of the details with that in the week following. Y'all have a good one.